Appreciate you, Coach. Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and, of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
Check, 53's Mike. Check, 53's Mike. Watch the slant, watch the slant. Watch the slant, watch the slant. Check. You gonna take.
The first carry out for the BYU man, it's Jamal Williams. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Come on, dude. 54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Oh, yeah. Baby. Here we go again.
Jackson for the shotgun. And he's got the hook up to Moore. 20, 10, touchdown, Packers. A big play there. 77 yards. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
Let's go. Do it.
At their own 25-yard line.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6. At the 29-yard line.
Check, Mike 54. Mike 54. And we have you on the end.
Jackson now. This is caught by Williams. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Jamal Williams with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his 14th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Point after, right down the middle, and that'll make our score 14-7.
Packers 14, Vikings 7.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. Early in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum down.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. They give to Williams, right. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Check 99.
On 3rd down, here's Williams. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big run there, 29 yards in the first.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
On 2nd down, it's Jones, and he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
58, come on. Rip left.
There's Jackson on 3rd and long. Going for a right side here, complete. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 25-yard line.
And a Packer 1st down.
Check, ready. He's on the base. Now watch one. Check it.
And down inside the 15 he goes. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the 1st.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move, and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out and clean that type of a play.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
1 yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at the 12-yard line.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
Packers 14, Vikings 7.
Williams. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. Already a pair of 3rd down conversions for them on this drive, but right now they need 5 yards on this 3rd down try. On 3rd down, Williams. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there. Of course you're going to give it to him.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
So 2nd and inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. They'll give to Cook out of the gun. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. Man open, it's Goodwin. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes it 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Za'Darius Smith, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now back to throw. Goodwin able to hold it in. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Again at 26 yards. That's another Vikings 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38.
Get that ball.
Back to throw. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook with touchdown number 8 on the year. As they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Well, Ronald Jones. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Jackson. He's going to look deep for more. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone.
The Vikings take over first and 10.
Let's go!
At their
Let's
own
go!
25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides of this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And now his throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield.
Complete to Dalvin Cook. That's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 3.
Back to throw here. And that will be incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
Showing it, showing it. 1, 3, Bill. Go.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. They go for it on 4th down, and it pays off big time as they pick up 29. This quarterback now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's 1st down. They'll drop the throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for their first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Josh Jackson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. You got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
And they finally get him down as he takes it up to the 44. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3. Slam, slam, slam. Hustle. Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Hey, we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet. What? Go. Check. 53's Mike.
Here's Jackson. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. A big play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee.
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
Point after, right down the middle. And that will take us to the end of the first half of play. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
54, right there. 54, Mike. Let's pick it up.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And this will be incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Second and 10. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. As they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is down to a field goal. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return.
First and 10. At their own 38-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion in the field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
A gain of 19 yards. And the Packers first down.
Check 26. It's 20.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And some space here. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Jamal Williams, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They did what they had to do to start this third quarter. Went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown and then the goal. We're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Paul. They're a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a first and 10. They'll set up a throw. And Diggs has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the #3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Here we go, G. Mike's 54. Mike's 54. I'm coming.
quickly here, and that's complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, the offer can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, it has been quarterback and receiver dominated.
Right there, 54, right there, 54 Mike. Double dog, that's the way.
They'll set up to throw. And he finds Cook. And he's brought down, but following a pretty juke move that gives him the first down. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Jair Alexander. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
At their own 17-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is making sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Oh, it really has, especially as of late. They stay on the ground this time. It's Williams. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down.
Right there, 54. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Come on.
Jackson from the shotgun. Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And 3 interceptions in this game. I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? In throwing 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. He'll drop to throw. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Kevin King there defensively.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
I got you. Check 4, check 4. Check 3, check 3. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Zip it. Zoom, zoom.
They'll look to throw here. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Bang, 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 bang. Trump.
On play action, they'll throw. He's going to take a shot for the end zone as his guys are in for 6. As they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And the lead is down to a field goal now.
Makes the score Packers 38, Vikings 35.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, it's very close, one-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping Chili on the other side of the ball saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. If there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Mike 34, Mike 34. Hey, tight down. There you go.
From the gun, Jackson. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
This is fielded at the 7. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, and their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now? I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his back.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They run it again with Williams. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they'll use the first of their timeouts to force one more play before the 2-minute warning. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Hey, check right 34. Right 36. Coming to you. Right 34. Right 34. Scoot. We got to get the ball, D. Get the ball.
Now Jackson operating from the gun. Well, look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. And it's Clinton-Dix with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 38-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Get the ball.
Back to throw. Man open, it's Goodwin. Well, he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. He's back to throw. That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll look to throw. Going for it all. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
I'm coming after you. Right there, 54.
He'll look to throw. Letting one go deep for the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. That's not exactly what you want there, especially given the time of the clock. But now, you've got to kick the field goal, right?
You do, and actually, you show a little faith in your defense when you do that, because you kick the field goal here. You're telling them, we believe you'll get the ball back for us for one more shot.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. And his kick here is good. And with a little more than a minute to go, we are all tied. So a big kick to get this back to even. Now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal the other way, that does you in.
You're exactly right. You didn't get into overtime yet. So now as a defense, you've got to think to yourself, you can't play prevent defense and just give up big chunks of yardage in front of you. but you also can't let anyone behind you. So you sit right on the line between the two, play the best defense you can, and not make it easy for them to move the ball downfield.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Check, 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 check. Check, check, check.
On the ground, this is Williams. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
Well, that sets up a big 3rd down. Now the decision has to be, do you run it here and play for OT, or do you go ahead and press it downfield?
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Again, it's Williams. And he will handle 1st down here at about the 40. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock.
Check in. Come on. Hayward.
Go, Mike 34. Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now.
34 is Mike.
Jackson to throw. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that.
Hey, switch gears.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining.
That's good for Vikings. 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Mike 54. Here we go, D. Get off the field. Mike 54. Go, 54. Right here.
He'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. Now he'll let this one go. Deep left side. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. 1st team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. 1st team to score wins the game.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Hey, let's get this.
Now a man who's been busy this afternoon. It's Williams. And nothing but daylight ahead. Past the 20. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. Now, partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the Packers, it's an important win in terms of staying in the postseason race as they move to 6-4. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, the run to begin the season is over as they drop to 9-1 now on the year. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire